Hello, lovely flute players. So I was going to make a quick video for you so you can go over what we worked on. So the first thing we're going to do, the biggest thing in learning the flute, is your head joint and getting really comfortable. And the best way to practice with your head joint is in front of a mirror, because then you can see what you are doing and adjust if it's not working. So the first thing we're going to do, we have our, remember, Mrs. Pooh from class. So we're going to just take our finger first and make sure that our aperture, that's what this word is right here, aperture is the opening. See how it's small and flat? It's not round. I'm not going like this. Small and flat. And I've got my finger right in the crook of my chin where my head joint would go. So now I'm going to take my head joint and I'm going to make sure I am sitting up nice and straight. My head joint's not going up, it's not going down. It's perfectly parallel. Okay, I'm not going to worry about holding the end right now. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to make sure this embouchure hole is pointed straight up, so it should be in line with my nose. If it's rolled too far away, it's going to be hard to get a sound. If it's rolled in too far, you'll get a sound, but it won't be the right one. So I want to make sure it's perfectly aligned right there. A little bit of your bottom lip is almost going to be covering that embouchure hole. So some of you, depending on your lip shape, you might need to move your flute up a little bit. You might need to move it down. So if you go and try something, it doesn't work, make an adjustment. It takes a little bit of trial and error. So what I'm going to do, so I'm getting a little thin sound, so I'm going to make an adjustment. For me, I was rolled out a little bit, so I'm going to roll in a little bit. Still lined up with my nose. If I roll too far in, you're going to sound like that. And I have to use super fast air. So remember we went hot dog, which is very silly, right? But it gets us moving the air at that speed. Hot dog. So try that without your flute first. I know it seems weird, but super fast air. So then I have my head joint. Double check my embouchure hole is pointed straight up. My bottom lip is kind of lined up with the edge of my embouchure hole. Make sure this is parallel. I'm going to do that hot dog air. Super fast air. Again. If your opening is too big, you can't get a sound. So these lips are together. Our air is just pushing out. So do some experimenting. So that's the first thing. Practice with that head joint. If you can get a nice sound on your head joint, the next step is you can take your entire flute, put it together, hold it right here. We're not going to worry about any of the keys, because once we start putting our fingers on the keys, we start tilting it and weird things happen. So I'm going to take my flute like this, put it right up, okay, parallel to the floor. This is in the right spot. Same thing, hot dog air. If I'm rolled away from me, doesn't work. Rolled it too far in. Okay, too low, too high. So we have to make adjustments and use the mirror to help you. No matter what, your air is really fast. Always go back to trying it with your finger first, okay? So the first step, finger. Second step, head joint. Third step, add your flute and go like this. Okay, so that's our head joint work. The next work we're going to do, we talked a little bit about TV practice today, getting used to how our flute feels in our fingers, because we're going to learn these things separately. We'll do finger stuff separate from our face. Once we can do both, then we put them together. Okay, so the first thing is you can do this when you're watching TV, so you get really used to your flute. Put my flute in my lap, pick it up, and get used to the fingerings without looking at it. So remember, on the back of my flute, I have two keys, two thumb keys. This little key for you guys should have, the smaller one should have a blue sticker. So we're going to do thumb, then I'm going to squish against this black little mouthpiece. This is a little mouthpiece marker. So black, so thumb, squish on the black. 1, 2, 3. There's a space right there where there's no sticker for you guys. 4, 5, 6, and then you check that both of your pinkies are on the keys that have the sticker. So we're going to put my flute down. I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to pick my flute up. I'm going to do thumb, squish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check my pinkies. Okay, try it again. Put my flute down. Thumb, squish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check my pinkies. Okay, and if you can do that without looking at your flute, you're in really good shape. So you can watch your favorite TV show and practice doing it so you get to the point where, ooh, I didn't mean knock flute, get to the point where you don't have to look at your flute. Okay, but on the back of your flute, you have these 2 keys. Make sure your thumb is on the little one, If it's on the big one, the notes we play are not going to sound right. So we want it just on the little one. Okay, so once you've got to that TV practice, you can practice our first 3 notes. And we're just practicing the fingerings. We're not practicing playing them. We have B flat, A, and G. So your B flat is thumb, 1, pinky. That's your B flat. Okay, thumb, 1, pinky. Guess what your A is? Thumb, 1, 2, pinky. Guess what your G is? Thumb, 1, 2, 3, pinky. So those first 3 notes, they're very close together fingering-wise. So I'm going to do that again. So we have our, I think it's for you guys, blue thumb, 1, green pinky is your B flat. Sounds like this. Then our A, 1 note lower, we add our second finger. Then your G, 1 note lower, add your third finger. So you want to get used to how that feels, And you can do that with TV practice too. I like to put my flute on my leg so it's up straight, and I'll just practice. Here's my B flat fingering. See my other hand, my A fingering, my G fingering. And going back and forth without looking at my flute eventually. That's the eventual goal. Okay? So we're going to work on fast air. Then we'll work on head joint. Then we can work on putting your whole flute with it, but not worrying about your keys yet. And then you can do some TV practice where you just practice holding it, thumb, squish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check your pinkies. And then you can look at these fingers, B flat, A, and G. And if you don't get to all of those things, that's okay. Start with the head joint first. Once you've got that, okay, then work on holding it. So those are our 2 separate skills. Happy practicing, flute players. Bye.